Hey, party people, it's a beautiful day for music. It's a wonderful day for sound. I'd like to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons. You can check out in the link down below how you can help support the channel. Thank you for supporting percussion education, specifically of the rudimental nature on this particular page. So come on and learn this lick with me. I have something very interesting here today, dealing with a little bit of some flams, a little bit of some hertzas, and a little bit of some offset accents and things. So very first thing I have here are 2 counts of eighth notes. One of the things that I like doing is adding that little bit of a sustained buzz or crush within my particular lick. So you'll immediately see it here with this business. So let's just take the first 2 counts. It's just alternating 1 and is stop, that much. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and is and again. 1 and is and 1 is that again. 1 is that. Oh, one more time. 1 is that. Oh, cool. Simple enough. What you really want to be sort of paying attention to here is making sure that that upbeat of beat 1, so the and of 1 isn't coming in a little bit early. It's our tendency all the time when we have eighth notes to sort of misnegotiate that space between the downbeat and the upbeat. So just be super specific with that. Moving on to this next particular beat, I have 2 16th note triplets going into 2 8th note triplets. And what I'm doing here is just alternating those. That type of thing. This particular type of figure, when we alternate it like that and we take it as single strokes or alternating strokes, a lot of people refer to that figure as a herta. Yeah? So this is based off of a herta. Let's just play a few of those back to back. 2, ready, and and let's play it a little bit higher. Cool. Now, that type of feeling, especially in your left hand, is going to become super, super important once we kind of move a little bit forward here and we have to start kind of bringing out those left hands. For right now, let's go ahead and add on the herta, but without any of the accents onto the first 2 beats. So I have da 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 da. 1, 2, ready and da 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 da. 2, ready and da 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 da. 2, ready and da 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 da. Yep. 2, ready and da 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 da. 2, ready and da 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 da. Nice. This time, let's go ahead and start to kind of push or kind of slightly emphasize those accents on the left hands of the actual herta. So when I get there, I'm going to take it as da 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 da. The biggest idea here is in my brain, I need to be able to hear it with the accents, but more importantly, without the accents, but still be playing those accents in real life. Super, super important for me to be able to split my brain off like that because it holds me accountable to the actual rhythm that I'm playing, regardless of where I put the emphasis or the accents within my actual hand structure, right? Here it is, taking those 3 counts with a little bit of that nudge of an accent on beat 3. 1, 2, bow, bow, bow. Pat that is thumb, da 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 da. 2, ready and da that is thumb, da 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 da. 2, ready and that is thumb, da 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 da. 2, ready and that is thumb, da 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 da. 2, ready and that is thumb, da 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 da. 2, bum bum bum. That is thumb, da 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 da. A little bit bigger on the accents. And that is thumb, da 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 da. 2, ready and that is thumb, da 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 da. Yep, ready and that is thumb, da 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 da. 2, ready and that is thumb, da 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 da. Ready and that is thumb, da 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 da. 2, and that is thumb, da 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 da. One more time. Ready and that is thumb, da 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 da. Cool. Now you'll notice, even though this particular thing is in 4/4, what's going to happen on beat 4 is I start that exact figure back over again. And it's definitely something that a lot of composers, a lot of arrangers will use as kind of a device to make something a little bit more funky to sort of shade where the downbeat is you'll have kind of a very similar phrase that's sort of 3 counts within a 4 count kind of structure or composition, right? So that's exactly what's going on here. I have a 3 count thing that's kind of superimposed inside of a 4/4 kind of structure. So let's go ahead and add on that same exact thing again. So stomp and I'm stopping on beat 3 of the next measure. 1, 2, ready, and that is stomp that is stomp 2, ready, and that is stomp that is stomp 2, ready, and that is stomp that is stomp 2, ready, and that is stomp that is stomp one more time, ready, and that is stomp that is stomp cool. Moving on. So the next 2 counts, so beats 3 and 4 here, are just straight up triplets. Yeah, triplet, whoa. So all I have here are just kind of offset flam taps. It's a very common phrase within a lot of marching rudimental sort of drums and things. So I'm gonna start off with that accent, and then I'm starting my actual flam taps on the 3rd partial of that first triplet that I have. So single, flam tap, stop. Yes, let's take that nice and slow and we'll sort of build that up. Ready and go, and single, flam tap, stop. Again, single, flam tap, stop. Again, triple it, 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 again, da 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 da, 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 again, pa 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 pa, again, da 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 da, again, pa 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 pa, again, da 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 da, again, da 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 da. One more time. Cool. Now I'm gonna back that up and put that together with my beginning stuff. So this is 2 whole first measures, right? That is top, that is top, 2, ready, and that is that is 2, ready, and that is cool. Moving on along here. So what's basically happening in these next 2 beats is I have this idea or this concept of pushing out these accents kind of on the right hand first and then on the left hand. And once you kind of get the gist of what's exactly going on here, you'll see why it's sort of written like this. It looks a little bit weird and things. So let's just take the first count here by itself. And it's basically that same idea of a hurta. It's just kind of offset by 1. So right, left, right. Yes, ready and go, and right, left, right. 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 Ready and go, and da 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 da. Ready and go, and da 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 da. Ready and go, and da 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 da. Go ahead and add the accents on there with the right hand. Dum da da dum dum. Ready and go, and dum da da dum dum. Yeah, ready and go, and dum da da dum dum. And actually the downbeat doesn't have an accent, so it's dum pa pa bum bum. My bad. Ready and go, and dum da da dum dum. Ready and go, and dum da da dum dum. Yep. Ready and go, and dum da da dum dum. Now notice, since I have both of those accents back to back on my right hand, I'm actually rebounding those. right? Bum ba ba bum bum, bum ba ba bum bum, bum. I'm letting the stick push back on me there. Of course, I'm just controlling it a little bit more, but this is essentially the way it kind of feels in my hand, almost like I'm doing like a free stroke, if you're familiar with Jojo Mayer, or if you happen to also play something like timpani. That's very much so the way that the sticks kind of feel in my hands when I'm letting them push back and I'm letting the whole stick kind of resonate openly in my actual chamber, my fulcrum, hand system, whatever you want to call it here. Now, all that's happening in this next beat is I'm still starting on the right hand, right? Bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 ba, ba, bum. So I'm on the second beat, bum, bum, ba, ba, bum. I'm going to start to emphasize those left hands when I do that. So let's just kind of loop this a little bit just on beat 2. I'm going to start to pull out those left hands. 1, 2, ready and go and bum, bum, ba, ba, bum. Ready and go and bum, bum, ba, ba, bum. Ready and go and right, left, right, left, right. Ready and go and right, left, right, left, right. Ready and go and bum, bum, ba, ba, bum. Ready and go and bum, bum, ba, ba, bum. Yep. Ready and go and bum, bum, ba, ba, bum. Ha 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 ya dum dum da da da. Dum 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 da da dum. Start to emphasize those notes now. Dum dum da da dum. Yep. Ready and go and dum dum da da dum. Ready and go and bum bum ba ba bum. Ready and go and bum bum ba ba bum. Ready and go and bum bum ba ba bum. Ready and go and bum bum ba ba bum. Ready and go and bum bum ba ba bum. Ready and go and bum bum ba ba bum. Cool. Let's go back now and add that on. So bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. Bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. Bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. Bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. Yes. 1, 2. Ready and go and dum da da dum 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 da da dum. 2. Ready and go and bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. 2. Ready and go and bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. 2. Ready and go and bum ba ba bum 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 ba ba bum. Nice. Now, just as a little bit of a background as to where these particular 2 counts come from, there's a group called Music City Mystique. It's a WGI group that I marched in 2005 and 2006. And one of our shopping sprees that we had in 2005 had this particular figure in it. So credit to whoever wrote that. I believe it was Shane Gwaltney and things. And I really have always kind of liked that sort of phrase. So I decided to kind of throw it in there as a little bit of paying homage to that particular spree. I think it's called Mystic Spree. And I believe they played it in 2000 and maybe 3, 4, 5-ish kind of area and things. I think they stopped playing it in 2006 because we played a slightly different kind of Flam spree exercise and things. So that's where this particular business comes from. Let's back it up now to the previous 2 counts going into this business. So starting on those triplets, yes, go in that particular speed. So beats 3 and 4 of measure 2 going into this. Yep. 1, 2, ready and go and dum dum bum 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 bum. 2, ready and go and dum dum bum 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 bum. 2, ready and go and dum dum bum 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 bum. 2, ready and go and da da bra ba bra bum 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 bum. One more time. Ready and go and da da bra ba bra bum 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 bum. Let's back that up now to the beginning. So dum 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 tigga dum dum ba tigga dum taka bra ba bra bum 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 ba ba bum. 2 and ready and go and pa pa dum tigga dum dum da that dum tigga dum dum taka pa 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 dum tigga dum 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 tigga dum. Cool. Moving on along here. Now, for this next part, super I guess normal sounding phrase. You'll find a lot of rudimental drumming. I have this triplet figure, and I'm going to have these sequential flams that kind of lead into this flam 5. It's going to kind of push into it. So starting on beats 3, taking beats 3 and 4 here, I have 2 low notes stopping on the 3rd partial of that triplet there. boom, boom, pa, right? And then beat 4, left hand, and then all of these flams will be on the right hand, ending on an accented sort of flam there. For me, technically that could be written as a crescendo, but I just like that little bit of a suddenness of explosion into that flam 5. So I'm going to keep both of those kind of at a medium, like a mezzo forte height as far as that actual flam is concerned. Keeping the actual grace notes fairly tight because this will eventually move by fairly quickly, and potentially you'll be playing this on a high tension surface as opposed to like a concert snare drum or something like a field drum, if that makes any sense. So let's take those 2 beats by itself here. Do do ta dum brum brum brum. 2. Ready and go and dun dun ta dum brum brum brum. 2. Ready and go and do do ta dum bra bra bra. 2. Ready and go and do do ta dum bra bra bra. 2. Beep bop bo 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 ba gum ba ba ba. Yeah, 2. Beep bop bo 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 ba gum ba ba ba. 2. Beep bop bo 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 ba gum ba ba ba. 2. Beep bop bo 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 ba gum ba ba ba. 2. Beep bop bo 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 ba gum ba ba ba. And the biggest thing here that can really help you out if you're having problems with those flams, just making sure that your right hand is nice and relaxed. I'm not playing these as like downstrokes or like a weighted or a marcato stroke. I'm very specific of letting these rebound because that second one I'm gonna have to play as an upstroke to be able to play the last one as that downstroke. Flam, flam, that note has to come up in order to play the bigger flam. Yeah. The only consideration that you have to kind of think about there is even though that's a rebounded stroke, you want it to sound exactly the same as the legato stroke that preceded it. So this stroke has to sound the same as that stroke. Bum, bum. Yeah. It just happens to be that it ends higher than the preceding note. So this is kind of something to think about. Let's back that up now and take that whole particular measure. So 2. Ready and go and dum da da dum 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 da da dum dum da dum dum bum bum. 2. Ready and go and dum da da dum 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 da da dum 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 dum. 2. Beep bop bum 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 dum da dum 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 da dum dum da dum dum bum bum. 2. Beep bop 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 bum dum da dum 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 da dum dum da dum bum bum bum. 2. Beep bop 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 bum da dum 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 da dum 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 bum bum. 2. Beep bop 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 bum dum 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 bum bum bum. 2. Beep bop 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 bum dum 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 bum bum. 2. Beep bop bop ba dum 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 dum. Cool. Let's go ahead and start on that flam 5 now. Actually, let's just add that on because at least in my brain, it completes the little add, like sort of build into that flam thing. So let's start at the same exact part and let's add on one particular beat here and thing. So dum 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 pakam bum bum da. Yes, taking that much. And 1, 2, ba 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 ba. Dum 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 da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam dum dum da. 2, ready, and dum 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 da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam dum da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam dum da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam dum da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam dum da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam dum da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam dum da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam da. 2, ready, and dum 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 pakam da. Cool. You really have to make sure we keep that fulcrum, especially in the front, nice and firm as we kind of go into those doubles for the flam 5. They're starting to get a little bit too wide sometimes. It's easy to crush them down when we're going fairly slow as far as the spacing of the doubles in the flam 5. The digga digga da, digga digga da da. But as they start to get a little bit quicker, they start to kind of get a little bit too fat and spread out. So you have to be very specific about pushing at the beginning of the Flam 5. Now, let's look at this kind of last little 3 beats here to make sure we can kind of play this accurately. I have 2 of those same ideas that kind of come back as far as the offset accents in the Hertzes. Being that we just played that Flam 5 off of the right hand, I'm on the left hand now here. My left hand is going to be pulling out all of those accents because I have this particular rhythm. Bum, 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 bum. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And I'm going to start to kind of accent some of those as I move along. So let's take it nice and slow, playing it all flat at first, and then we'll actually start to pull out or emphasize some of those accents. 1, 2, ready and go, and dum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum, and go, and bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum, and go, and dum da da dum dum da da dum dum. Add those accents, dum da da dum dum da da dum dum, and go, and dum da da dum dum da da dum dum. Go, and dum da da dum dum da da dum dum. Go, and dum da da dum dum da da dum dum. Go, and dum da da dum dum da da dum dum, and go, and dum da da dum dum da da dum dum. I like it. Dum da da dum dum da da dum dum. Dee ba bo bo bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum. Bay 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 bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum. Bee 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 bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum. Hey 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 bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum. Beep bop bo bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum. A little bit faster. Bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum bum. Beep beep bum ba dum dum da da dum dum. Da da dum da dum dum da dum da 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 dum da dum dum da dum dum. Cool. Now let's back that up. Actually, let's go ahead and add on the last little bit before we start backing it up here. So coming out of that, I just have one more of these buzz accent things, and that's in an 8th note format. So warning, 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 you want to be super specific when we change from something like this Hertz triplet kind of feel, going back into a different sort of more of a duple pattern, right? That boom, bop, that 8th note. So be very specific with that the last note. Let's add that on to the previous 2 beats. So thump dum thump dum stop. Yeah. 1, 2, b b b b. Thump dum stop. 2, ready, and thump dum stop. 2, ready, and thump dum stop. 2, ready, and thump dum stop. Cool. Nice. Now let's back that up, starting on the Flam 5. So tigga-digga-dim, thump-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, tzz-ka, 2, beep, 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 tigga-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, tzz-ka, 2, beep, 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 tigga-digga, oh, do my bad, 1, 2, ba, 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 tigga-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, tzz-ka, 2, beep, 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 tigga-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, tzz-ka, 2, beep, 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 tigga-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, tzz-ka, 2, b b b b, tigga-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, tzz-ka, 2, b b b b, tigga-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, thump-digga-dum, tzz-ka. Nice. Let's back that up now to this business. Thump-digga-dum, 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 tzz-ka. Let's try it. 1, 2, b b b b, thump-digga-dum, 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 tzz-ka. 2, ready, and 2, ready, and cool. And notice that I'm still singing that downbeat. I just really want to always connect from downbeat to downbeat. Sure, I'm thinking about the individual subdivisions of the rhythms when they come about, but even if I don't have the downbeat release, I'm still hearing that in my head. So notice that's why I'm still singing it a lot of the times. Let's back that up to the previous 2 beats. So this is the Flam tap triplet thing. So yeah, 1, 2, beep 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 beep. 2, ready, and cool. Let's go ahead and back that up now, all the way from the beginning. We'll have a few playthroughs of it, and then we'll get up out of here. Thank you for spending this time with me here today, and let's do it all the way top to bottom. Is top, two, ready, and two, ready, and that is two, ready, and same thing a little bit faster. Yeah. And 1, 2, ready, yeah. Let's try it again. 1, 2, ready, yeah. Two, ready, yeah. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, so once again, as always, it's a beautiful day for music. It's a wonderful day for sound. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuce.